everybody. So I know it's been a while. Sorry, I've been doing a lot of filled cookies, you know, trying to bring some money into the house and having a blast with that, by the way. If anybody can think of any kind of extraordinary, different kind of jams I can put in my filled cookies, I was thinking of maybe like apple jelly. I wonder if that would hold up in the oven. I know the strawberries having a hard time holding up in the oven, but the rest of them are fantastic. Peggy Tibbetts, wonderful woman, was making peanut butter no bakes. She was making a whole batch of chocolate no bakes and making a batch of peanut butter no bakes. I've never made peanut butter no bakes before. So over here, I want to show you. She said, Paula, simple. It's the same recipe as chocolate no bakes. Melts the chocolate and put 1 full cup of peanut butter in instead of the 1/3 cup. So as we know, because we have already done no bakes together before, it's 2 cups of sugar. Normally for chocolate no bakes, there'd be the cocoa at this point, and then milk, and then butter, and the whole 9 yards. I'm going to tell you as it is right in here, right now. I have 2 cups of sugar. I have 1/2 cup of milk, 1 whole stick of butter, and a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I put it on here. We're going to wait for it to boil, and it boils for just 3 minutes. Over here is the other half of it that's prepped and ready to roll. I have 1 cup of peanut butter, and I, of course, always use the crunchy because I love that extra something in it. I do not do just straight peanut butter. The 1 teaspoon of vanilla and the 3 cups of the quick oatmeal. So that's all we have to do is wait for this to boil for 3 minutes, and we're all set. And this is the first time for me making this. I've never made peanut butter no bakes before. Hey, if anybody's got the maple no bakes recipe, and you'd like to share it, and you don't mind me making it live here and sending it out to everybody, please send it to me, because I would love to do those too. I've always wanted to do the maple no bakes, and I don't have the recipe, so I would love to do that. This only takes a couple of minutes to get up to boiling, so we're not going to be that long. But as you can see, everything, it's funny because when I'm making no bakes, it's always dark because it's always chocolate. And of course, I have my fans like Jordan Carpenter and Damien Boomhauer and Brian Corliss. They are freaking crazy about no bakes. So whenever I make chocolate no bakes, I always run them right up to them because it happens to be their favorite cookie that I make. I've always wanted to try, however, peanut butter ones for people who aren't, I know it sounds silly, I'm going to say the sentence, who aren't in love with chocolate. Oh, it's just crazy. But anyways, for people who aren't, I've always wanted to do the peanut butter ones. By the way, the other thing you don't want to forget is to pull out some wax paper, because you have to get them out of that pan really fast. So I have it down on wax paper here. You can also use parchment paper. It's pretty much the same thing, but I'm using wax paper there. So this is just about ready to boil. Doesn't it look kind of funny though? It has the sugar. All it is sugar with the milk and some butter, so there's no real color or any excitement to it yet. So, but she says it's exactly the same recipe. You just take out the cocoa, which I did, and insert 1 cup of peanut butter instead of the 1/3 cup that I'm normally used to using. So we're just about ready. And once it boils, it's going to boil for 3 minutes. So yeah. So while I'm waiting for that to boil, I've had some people say to me that they want to make bread. Regular bread, that's a question I have for you. Do you want it to be regular bread? Do you want it to be cinnamon bread? Any of the above? Let me know, because I really think I want to get my mom over here to video that with me, because my mom makes fantastic bread, and she's the one I learned it from. The other thing is I have a bread machine, and when I first got it, I was like, oh, it tells you how simple it is. Just throw the ingredients in one right after the other, but it almost seems too simple. So if you would like me to do like white bread or something in the bread machine so you can really see how simple it is, shoot me a something or other. See, it's boiling now. Shoot me a little note, and I will definitely do a, whoops, what the heck? There we go. I will do a live into the bread machine thing with you if you like. So here it goes. It's funny. It smells so different too. Without that chocolate in there, it's got quite a different aroma to it. But don't ever want to boil more than the 3 minutes, because they get too dry, and you don't want to boil under 3 minutes because then they don't harden well enough. You want to do exactly 3 minutes when it gets on that full boil. And I tend to still, like, I'm having a hard time sometimes still going the whole 3 minutes. I always get nervous, and I don't want them to get all hard or anything on me then. Anyways, And as you can see what you're really doing in that 3 minutes time, as you can see what I'm doing with my spoon, you're going to notice that you're going to end up, remember when we made maple fudge together, you're going to end up with that hair when you're done. So you can, it's working on it right there. I did use 1% or 2%. 2% milk in here. I don't think it makes a difference because some recipes are really specific. That's 1%. Okay. Some are really specific about, 1% or 2% or anything like that. And this one didn't say, so I think we're going to be fine. And I always use butter, but you can use margarine if you're for some reason as a person who can't use butter because of the high animal fat in it, which I'm not really supposed to be using. Definitely you can use margarine in here. Years ago when there was this whole, when we were growing up, there was this whole thing about how bad butter was for you. We went through this whole bad butter thing and everybody said eat oleo, eat margarine, eat margarine, eat oleo. So we did for, I don't know, 10 or more years. And then people got smart and realized that there really wasn't anything wrong with butter as long as it was in moderation. And so we went back to that. So a lot of recipes had the word, as a matter of fact, this recipe when I wrote it up had the word 1 stick of oleo in it. It wasn't even written for butter and I changed it to butter. So, okay, we're almost there. We have a minute left to boil.
I don't think my mom ever stopped using butter.
No, she didn't. I don't think your mom did either. That's true. I always keep everything set up over here. I've got a big spoon and a little spoon because I pull it out with the big spoon and I push it off with the little one. I always have this set up because you don't want to wait afterwards. Your cookies have to come out so quickly or they'll harden in the pan that you want to have everything set up here on the side. These cookies take tops 10 minutes, if that, actually, from start to finish. It's a very quick cookie. I've never done the peanut butter ones. I've never done the peanut. I'm thinking of dinner because I want to know what I want to do with the roast. I've got a leftover roast. I'm trying to think about what to do with it, and maybe I'll video that too. I did that beautiful roast we did in the crock pot together. Okay, so it's ready to come off, and we're going to put our 1 teaspoon of vanilla in it. I always put the vanilla first. It always reacts, jumps up because it's going into that. Always put the peanut butter next. And I finish with the oatmeal. And I use the quick kind because that's what kind they've always said to use. I'm not sure if you're a person that really wants those long pieces or whatever. I guess you could use the steel.
Quick peanut butter?
Yes, no, not quick peanut butter, honey. I'm talking about oatmeal right now. The steel cut, I think they call it, which is the regular, long grain. Hasn't been cut anyway, so it does. But I've always used the quick. Maybe one of these days we'll just use the other one just to see what happens. So I want to get this stirred inside here again. First time I've done these with you, so I'm kind of excited. You know how I love to do first time recipes live. Talk about pressure there, fail or not. That's always a live thing. And I put it up for a video, so if I fail, it's a live failure. So but look how wonderful that color turned into right off. So I'm a chocolate girl, so all the way chocolate for me, no problem. My life I could have chocolate in my life every day. I don't, but I could. It wouldn't break my heart. Okay, see how smooth that is? And it's got all, of course, it's got the crunchy pieces, but see how beautiful that peanut butter has melded into there. And then we're going to go 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to get them right out of the pan, and it's as quick as that. 2, whoops, I got them over the side of the jar that time. 3, there we go. And there you are. They have an amazing aroma, so I'm very excited about trying these and kind of taking around town to my boys who love the chocolate ones and see what they think of the peanut butter ones. Oh, look at that. Okay, you don't want to mess around with this and keep it in the pan very long, so you just want to, okay, I've got it all stirred and combined. I don't want anything left to be combined because I don't have time later on to do it. Okay, so here we go. And I just literally work to quickly get them out of this pan because by the time I get about halfway through here, they're already going to start drying and not drying, but sticking together. There you go. And it's just I don't even measure. It's just a random, I take a soup spoon, the big one, you know, and use a little teaspoon with it. Boy, these look like fun though, don't they? Oh my gosh. The smell of them's coming off of them is amazing. I love the idea of the crunchy peanuts in there, so I'm glad I used the crunchy peanut butter like I do with my chocolate ones. I'm very excited about that. And so this is all there is to it. Basically, it's a 5 to 10 minute little thing. The longest is waiting for it to boil, which we did some chatting while we were waiting for it to boil.
We're at 10.5 minutes right now.
Yeah, because, yeah, the longest part is waiting for it to boil. So here you go. I don't know what else to say about it except that I'm really quite excited about it. You know what could be fun? Actually, to be honest with you, okay, let's talk about different things we can do. Because, you know me, I always like to try something new. I'll use the crunchy peanut butter because I like that texture. So, you could use smooth peanut butter. And you could have different nuts crunched up already on the side and just throw them in. Just use a little less peanut butter for the volume. And you could do like, I don't know, almonds wouldn't do so good, but pecans would be a great flavor. It's just smelling what they smell like. I feel like pecans, little slivers of, not big ones, but you have to chop them down just like you would have the crunchy peanut butter sized peanuts. You chop them down like that. Oh my God, that seems like that would be fun in here with the smell that it has. I really, really am interested if anybody has one for maple. I don't have a maple. Oh, I'm running out of room here. There we go, over here. If anybody does have a maple recipe, I would really, really like to. I'm going to get another piece here because I
Some of the other ones are bigger.
yeah, well, I mean, I didn't realize I've never gone over with the chocolate. I always use that exact amount of area. So, actually, I guess I usually go up higher. So, just go a little more down here. So excited to taste these. Thank you, Peggy, for telling me how to do this, for giving me your recipe or telling me. I know I already had a recipe for chocolate and you said just make the changes, but to me that means that you've given me a recipe, and I love when people share the recipes. Mary shared the most recipes of anybody. Bryce Hislop has shared the most recipes with me of anybody on here. I've gotten some from different sources, but she's definitely shared. But I love it when anybody wants to share recipes with me. I am all about it. And that's as easy as it is. And there you go. You've got a couple of dozen.
Why couldn't you throw chocolate chips in there?
They would melt.
They would.
Unless you did. Oh, you mean at this time right here when you threw this in?
Right.
True, but they'd have to be minis. I think that big ones would be too big. But mini chocolate chips, that wouldn't be such a bad idea either. So you're reversing it. With the chocolate no bakes, you've got the chocolate is your big thing, and your peanut butter is kind of your accompaniment. This way, that's a good idea, honey. Thank you very much. You've got it turned around. They might melt a little bit because it's so hot, but I get it out of the pan so fast that maybe that would work. We could try that next time. I certainly think that like pecans or what's the tree that I asked you about the nuts, that the woman had given me some nuts recently, and I was kind of eating like a little bit of a hoarder. And I asked anybody if they knew where the, I can't remember. Anyways, those nuts would be great, but I can't think of the name of them. I'll have to put it down when I can remember. Shyla, what's the name of those nuts that we used to crack by the fire when we were little kids? We used to use the hammer. Butternut.
Butternuts. Yeah,
Butternuts. If anybody has any butternuts, they would like ridiculously complement these cookies, because those butternuts are, but it's a lot to get to them. You have to use a hammer to break them open, and when we were kids, Mom used to let us sit by the hearth and slam them with the hammer, and we'd put them in little jars that she had kept, and that's what Mom would use when she made her fudges, and when she made her, Mom made the best maple fudge. We could get into something like that. Maple season's coming. So anyways, if anybody has a maple no-bake recipe, I would love it, because I'd love to do it live. And look how beautiful these cookies are. So thank you again, Peggy Tippett. I really appreciate the recipe. Anybody else wants to share recipes with me, keep them coming. Bye.